Okay, folks, take two. Unfortunately, I just lost a lot of momentum. The microphone was not on, but Tom Brady has retired. So, a second chance here for the tribute. I was just saying all these wonderful things about Tom Brady, winning the 3 out of 4 Super Bowls with the New England Patriots in the early days. Then he goes on. They had a 10-year run without a Super Bowl victory with the Patriots, but two AFC championships, resulting in losses in the Super Bowls to the New York Giants and Eli Manning. And that was always kind of interesting that Eli, the younger brother of Peyton, for whatever reason, seemed to have the number of the Patriots in these Super Bowls. But that's really just the negative. I mean, if you look at Tom Brady's decades of dominance, I mean, we're going from the 2000s, 2010s, 2020s, a Super Bowl victory, I believe, across 3 different decades, if you think about it. 7 Super Bowl victories, more Super Bowl rings, Super Bowl titles for this individual player than any NFL team, period. The Patriots have 6. The Steelers, I believe, have 6. And Tom Brady has 7. Okay. So, I mean, really what it comes down to is if you're going to compare athletes as far as success, you really have 2 choices in this world. It's Tom Brady or Michael Jordan. And that's about it. You know what I mean? Maybe somebody can, and thanks to D-Back for recognizing and telling me that the audio was not working on the prior video. Okay. Some of you folks, if you see me struggling here, if you see that there's technical issues, you need to be like D-Back and you need to tell me what's happening, okay? Because the microphone was not on and I spent so much time talking. But anyway, let's move forward. And that's one thing about Tom Brady that makes him a winner. He was always able to concentrate on the next pass, concentrate on the next game, concentrate on the next challenge. He didn't dwell on things that went wrong. And I think that's something we can all kind of learn from. It's difficult because a lot of people want to self analyze and be critical of oneself or their pursuits or their actions. But Tom kind of learned that doesn't help score touchdowns now, does it? Thinking too much or reflecting upon mistakes doesn't get that fucking football across the end zone. Now, does it? So, Tom Brady, unbelievable 7 championships. I believe he lost in 3 Super Bowls. I want to say to the Eagles and the Giants twice. Am I forgetting the Super Bowl loss? Just a wonderful human being. Maybe the only thing that I kind of did not agree with Tom Brady on was, I mean, I hate to bring it up. Maybe I'll just leave it alone. But well, I guess I'll bring it up since we've gone this far. Tom in that Tom versus Time web series a couple of years ago, it was a little weird when he's like, him and his son are kissing each other on the lips or whatever. I know it was just a kid. It was just a cute little thing. I'm just sharing that it was a little awkward for the viewer, but hey, who's to say? What lovely wife, Giselle. Apparently, Tom is retiring because he wants to spend more time with his lovely wife and his children and all that good stuff. Wants to throw the football in the backyard to the kids. Good for him. It's very exciting. I think I saw some type of video yesterday about like a YouTube thumbnail about, was it Jack Brady, Tom's son, a young kid, and they were claiming that he's going to be a great football player at this young age. I mean, it might be too early to call that. I mean, but people like to make news up. Great thing about Tom Brady coming to Tampa Bay from New England, not wanting to just have his life stapled to Bill Belichick and wanting to answer that question. Was Brady just the recipient of great coaching and a great system? And some Brady haters always wanted to say that. They always want to say that Tom was replaceable and that Jimmy G or whoever the fuck else could do his job. Well, apparently not, okay? Because Tom Brady leaves New England, goes to Tampa Bay, and takes them to an immediate Super Bowl victory. First year there, unfucking believable. They win the Super Bowl at home, first time that's ever happened. And Tom Brady, even with all these things, even playing at home, many people thought the Kansas City was going to beat Tom Brady and the fucking Buccaneers. Well, they didn't. Okay. My friend Kim Kaling told me this exciting news. She's predicting that Tom will come up to New England and be a defensive coordinator. That's her belief. I think that might be wishful thinking. I think Tom does not want to spend time under the auspices of Bill Belichick. I think he wants to be his own man, and I think that's fine. So this is what we have, folks. This is the news of the day. A couple of days ago, our buddy there, Ben Roethlisberger, Big Ben, retired. So he's done. Last year, after losing to Tom Brady, Drew Brees retired, the New Orleans Saints quarterback. And of course, Peyton Manning 4 or 5 years ago retired. I remember the day that Peyton Manning retired, everybody was calling him the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Obviously, he's not. I mean, if you've seen that Friars Club roast on Comedy Central with that female comedian says to Peyton Manning, you know, Peyton Manning, you're really good at those commercials. You might be the best commercial spokesman ever. You're like the Tom Brady of commercials. I don't know if you saw that. That was good. So there you have it, folks. Very exciting. Monty and the Pharaoh are chiming in. I did actually record already my AEW apologist video. There's just some transcribing or encoding going on. So I'm waiting for that to happen so I can send over the video to Monty and the Pharaoh for their Monty and the Pharaoh YouTube channel. They'll very long AEW apologist video this week, 34 minutes. Okay. I even made some WWE predictions. Very exciting, folks. Everyone's excited. Tom Brady is retiring. He's taking his foot off the gas. He's going to live the simple life. He's going to do TB12. He might be the next Tony Robbins. Who knows? Maybe he'll do some football coaching. Maybe he won't. If you have any further thoughts on this, what do you see Tom doing? I guess the real thing to do here, folks, which we haven't done yet, let's all thank Tom Brady. Let's thank Tom Brady for these 7 Super Bowl victories. Let's thank Tom Brady for the drama, the dominance, the role model material that he is, showing people what it's like to be a winner. And really what it comes down to, if you're going to talk about the greatest team athlete in the sports in our lifetimes, maybe not in all time, but in our lifetimes, it's really Tom Brady or Michael Jordan. Those are your options, folks. And, you know, no offense to Michael Jordan, because obviously in basketball, as far as my lifetime goes, I can't compare him to Bill Russell or whoever might come down the line 20 years from now. But Michael Jordan, just a dominant player, 6 championships out of 8 years. The two years, one of them he didn't play at all. One of them he came back just for the playoffs. So Michael Jordan, clearly dominant. Doc D-Back, really enjoying the AEW apologist videos. I'm up to number 19. That'll be up later this weekend, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow on Monty and the Pharaoh YouTube channel. Very exciting. And thanks for watching those, buddy. Thanks for the cross-referencing. So Michael Jordan, and now we have Tom Brady. 7 rings. I believe the first one was in 2002. January or February of 2002, all the way to 2021. I mean, that's quite a stretch, folks. Quite impressive. I mean, that's basically saying for his career, he was the Super Bowl champion 1 out of 3 years. 1 out of 3 years, 1 out of 3 seasons, Tom Brady was coming out of there with a Super Bowl ring. And 3 more of those seasons, he got an AFC championship ring and lost the Super Bowl. So, I mean, people want to, no offense to LeBron James or his fans, but LeBron James is always, you know, claiming or saying that he's the best. Well, guess what? LeBron James, I could be wrong, but is his record in the finals 4-6? I mean, that's not so great, to be honest with you. I mean, that's less than 500. So, and people say, well, he got to 10 championships. Okay, well, then you can say Tom Brady's been in 10 Super Bowls. And no offense to the NBA and the basketball players, but just with the series of concussions and injuries and the turnover and the shorter career trajectory for NFL players, trajectory, nice word, huh? I would say that it's harder to win a Super Bowl ring than it is to win an NBA championship, especially back to back. I think we can all agree upon that. So if you really want to compare apples to oranges, you might have to say that Tom Brady is a better, more successful, let's say, uh, champion than Michael Jordan. I mean, 7-6, and it's football over basketball. No offense. You could say the dominance in a certain area of time is the advantage to Jordan because he won 6 out of those 8 seasons, the championship. But as far as a career path, you got to give it to Tom. And get no offense, but a guy like LeBron James is not in this conversation for me. I did say team sports, so I'm excluding people like the natural Randy Couture, who I've interviewed on Subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. And I'm excluding guys like Muhammad Ali, who was involved in boxing. I mean, that's a whole other goddamn conversation. Who's the greatest boxer of all time? Many people would say Tyson, which I would thoroughly disagree with. Some would say Ali, but even Ali lost 5 times, okay? You might want to say Lennox Lewis, but he lost to a couple of bums in the mix, Oliver McCall and the other guy. So, I mean, no one here gets out alive. What about Rocky Marciano? I mean, I never really saw a lot of his fights, but I can tell you that he had a great record, okay? So there you go, folks. Tom Brady is retired. The snowstorm in New England. Would Tom Brady, guess what? Here's a little side project. What if Tom takes a year or 2 off? Could you see Tom coming back? Could Tom Brady pull a Michael Jordan? Remember when Michael Jordan played for the Washington Wizards and he took a couple of years off the Bulls and then he came back for the Wizards? Could Tom Brady pull a routine like that? Could he even play for the Patriots a couple of years from now as like a goodbye tour? It's possible. Anything's possible. But I think he's got to satisfy his wife. He's got to make her happy for a couple of years, and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. But like I said, look for the AEW apologist video later this weekend. Check in on the Monty and the Pharaoh YouTube channel. I'll do a post in my community for it. I did see some great movies yesterday. I saw 2 movies yesterday. Licorice Pizza. Oh my God, what an actress! This Alana Haim, sensational young actress in Licorice Pizza, and so on and so forth. So there you go, folks. It's your Saturday afternoon. Royal Rumble coming up. NFC, AFC championship games tomorrow. Everyone's excited. And for those that are in the New England or Northeast blizzards, my best to you as you try to dig yourself out of the horrible snow. I heard it's a light snow, so it's not killing anyone. But still be careful out there and try not to drive unless you have to. So subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. Look later for the AEW apologist video on Monty and the Pharaoh YouTube channel.